Now she don't ski, splash. Think about posting up on the ground, man, delete her. Whole gang in the field, we don't do bleachers. Think about posting up on the ground, man, delete her. Whole gang in the field, we don't do bleachers.
Ice the game, had to ice the game. So much ice, too much, had to ice the lane. Freeze the dud, freeze, had to freeze the lane. Freeze, camera phone, turn your lights off. We been on. Came from my block and growed up, guess I'm homegrown, well known. That is my cologne. I put my wrist inside the freezer, came out froze. Ice. I put my heart inside, cause I was chose. I put my heart inside and only God knows. Yeah, the clinics, but that baby wipe this nose. I wipe this nose. What's a link till they explode?
Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't ski. Splash. Think about posting up on the ground, man, delete her. Whole gang in the field, we don't do bleachers. Think about posting up on the ground, man, delete her. Whole gang in the field, we don't do bleachers.
Rain put the stars out. Not aboard the house. Get deported out. Moved out for a shot. Marvin the Martian. I'ma put your brain up an auction. Proceed with caution. Skeleton AP is frosted. I sit back and read the offense. Was it did it the falsest? Chanel bag is ostrich. Stay down, come up in the process. Private jet, the same diamond milk,
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Redskins. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Gone!
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. That's caught by Trey Quinn. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Watch him now, Barney! Watch him now, Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second down, Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Daniil Hunter able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. Now, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3. And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Big hold of the 30. Finally taken down at the 32-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Working out of the gun, Cousins. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
This will be fielded at the 17. Oh, I nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Try. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there out of Geis. 42 yards. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
He's going to get it running right. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Ben Gideon. in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
They run with Geis, and they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Now I would be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff. And they've got it here with a first down. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The tackle there by Fabian Moreau.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On the carry, it's Cook. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
So out now come the Redskins. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Ben Gideon in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Dotson with a grab over the middle. Josh Dotson past the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Josh Dotson, 82 yards. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they designed every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
And out now come the Vikings. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Cousins now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Now Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Matt Ioannidis in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Cousins eluding the pressure right. And he's got some space here. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. The Vikings on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14. Cousins now. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A big gain of 39 on third.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. A deep ball for Dotson. And got his man complete. And all the way to the opposite 48. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So forget about being backed up. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way across midfield.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
He'll look to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45. 35-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got room. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 7, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Flex round! Flex round!
And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They stay on the ground. Geis again fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Redskins on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw here. Being chased out left. Dumps it off for Geis. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and a mile. They'll set up to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big... And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Cousins to throw it. It's caught by Treadwell. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27. Cousins now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cousins again. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Ryan Anderson in there to bury him for a loss of 11. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Throwing is Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
On the handoff, it's Geis. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He'll drop to throw. He'll check it down to Geis. And to the 42. Now a hit and a loose football. Give him 2 yards on that play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now out comes Minnesota. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ben Gideon able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. They'll hand it down to Geis. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Cousins, and complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. A gain of 32 that time. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back into 24. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Quinn. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A very solid gain of 27. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now it looks like he'll throw here, but he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Looking to throw. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 14 there, and that should be enough to get him home free. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps him in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They come out here in the eye. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
2.
One last shot now for Cousins. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Have an all-white rank. Couldn't hit if it had ain't. Lanes can't call it, you lame. You had it, then you lost it, all the shine. I can buy a Billy, don't talk to me. For a show 150, don't talk to me. You ain't never help your mans, don't talk to me. You just follow all the trends, don't talk to me. I set the bar, I'm the bar. Get the sky, I'm a star. I don't fall in love, cause I be loving. They ain't like my shirt, extra large. I don't care, I crash a ghost. Got 2 cribs and 2 states, I be doing the most. I got white folks' money that I won't blow. And if you ask why, cause the white folks don't. Big bank, tight, low bank, bank. Big bank, tight, low bank, bank. Type of money you gon' need to sight. The type of money you gon' need to buy. From the hood, this type of money make you stay away. Type of money gon' let you. Big bank, tight, low bank, bank. Big bank, tight, low bank.
Everything proper, no propaganda. Tropicana gold yard bandana. Big, a lot of like Santa. Threw a birthday party in a phantom. Big like a dinosaur did it. And you know, shining like acrylic. Yeah, I had cornrow. I can see you hang with the door closed. Now I'm looking for a glove with a sparkle on it. And my got chocolate on it. Big bank take small. Bank account on some tall. Attitude on some. Bank roll on what it
Franchise exhibition.
He had the roulette vibe. And if I ain't did it yet, I'll try.
Big bank, tight, low bank, bank. Big bank, tight, low bank, bank. Type of money you gon' need to sight. The type of money you gon' need to buy. From the hood, this type of money make you stay away. Type of money you gon' let you.
Exhibition. Franchise, ultimate franchise exhibition.
She said, what you gonna do if I leave? I said, I'ma do me. B.I.G. Everything zoomed in. Big on me looking like I'm moving in. Got my foot in the door and we still here. I'm a first generation millionaire. I broke the curse of my family not having. I'm passionate like us after more than just cashing. Feed me to the wolves, now I lead the packing. You boys all cap, I'm more Colin Kaepernick. I'm rare as affordable healthcare. Or going to wealth from welfare. I turn my W's to those. I might buy a red bottoms with the crypto. 3 coins, that'll pay your whole semester. But you gotta better than a Tesla.
Big bank, tight, low bank. Big bank, tight, low bank. The type of money you gon' need to sight. The type of money you gon' need to buy. From the hood, this type of money make you stay away. Type of money gon' let you. Big bank, tight, low bank. Big bank, tight, low bank.
Back again, back to back, made back, stacked it.
Can McCaffrey do it again? I'm Jonathan Coach.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive.
I seen the best of them, Jando. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
When you got dumb cake up in the say that they be waiting for you in the bushes with the duct tape up and down the interstate. Yeah, we really touch. October, I'm about to another state. He went down in Arizona, don't get me involved. An empty box in the car means they coming for all. I had six phones, I got rid of them all. We get hit and sit down, we don't talk to the law. Yeah, they think I'm tripping, they listen. They know our every move, yeah, they want us all in prison. That's why I can't sleep at night until they get in. I'm on another mission, I'm just young and I'm living.
I done seen the best of them, Jando. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
7 in the morning and they in my home. My bank account's froze, what is going on? Why it all start going wrong? From talking on the phone.
My phone still echo, the feds won't let go. Money never sleeps when you're the Black Gordon Gecko. Line looking like they waiting on the retro. Sixes, I feel special. Resale and I never pay retail. My shoebox money afforded me the spree wells. And that then courted me a V12. Avoid the phones if it's sounding like a seashell. Too much clicking in the connection. Connect the dots with my connect for my protection. Face to face, I place my like a drive-through. Feel it, you know how I do. Push.
I done seen the best of them, Jando. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
7 in the morning and they in my home. My bank account's froze, what is going on? Why it all start going wrong? From talking on the phone.
Too many handle business on my own, cause you ain't right, and that's...
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions face off with Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, let's get on up to Jacksonville. Standing by for the call, it's our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
The Jaguars have Josh Lambo out there to get us started. And off we go from Jacksonville. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. The former Georgia product leading out this crew in his 10th year now at the helm of the Lions. It's Matthew Stafford.
One thing you ask for from your quarterback, improvement each and every season. You also ask for consistency. Matthew Stafford, 7 straight years over 4,000 yards passing. He's still looking for that initial playoff victory during his tenure, but I think that he's been leading them towards it and has a chance to get it in the upcoming future.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Stafford. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Malik Jackson coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Out of the gun, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Green 80. Green 80. Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52. Ready? Come on, let's go.
On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. And for this offensive unit that we'll see here in just a second, T.J. Yeldon is certainly someone to mention.
Came out of Alabama with a lot of attention, but earned it. This guy is better and better at a lighter weight. Shifty back who can finish with power.
Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. From the gun, it's Bortles. And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up 4th.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Taken in at the 22. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Lions will take over. Detroit Lions trotting out on the field again, and the first year under Matt Patricia maybe hasn't gone how they had hoped. They're going to need a big second half of the season to get back into playoff contention, but the running game has been better.
It certainly has, because remember they drafted Kerryon Johnson out of Auburn in hopes that he would emerge as their lead back, and he's done exactly that, on pace to be a 1,000-yard rusher as a rookie. They haven't had one of those since Reggie Bush in 2013. Unfortunately, they still feel a little bit like they're treading water, still trying to find their way. Even made a move on defense, though, to try and shore things up on the defensive line at the trade deadline, getting Snacks Harrison from the New York Giants in hopes of maybe slowing down teams like the Minnesota Vikings when they decide to run the ball inside.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Stafford. Out to the flat for Rennick. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, as the defense rallies quickly after the nice move. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, it's Stafford. That is incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Stafford looks to throw again. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And here now is the Jaguars' all-time leading scorer in another uniform. He had over 1,000 points with the Jags, Josh Scobie. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
This will be taken in at the 1. Jacksonville, Charles, is a team that you and I have talked about a lot this year, because there was all that anticipation coming into the season on the heels of 2017, but the first half of the year was just not kind to them, and they entered their bye week on a 4-game losing skid. Blake Bortles in and out of the lineup, Leonard Fournette out of the lineup. I don't know what to make of 2018 for this team.
Yeah, I don't either. They moved Dante Fowler Jr. to Los Angeles in a trade at the deadline, but I still feel like there's something there. This team is too talented to be in this type of a skid. And apart from games with the Steelers and the Texans, schedule is favorable on the back end. Let's see if guys like Calais Campbell can lead them back to some of the success they had in 2017.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 1st down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Set. 380.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. This is taken at his 4. Ooh, with a juke. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. They'll wind up losing about a dozen on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and very long.
It's hard to stay mad at a player who fights for yardage, even if it's not successful. But on this play, I'm just looking at what the defense did. We always talk about gang tackling and getting more people to the football. How about the job they did there, the discipline they had? No matter how hard he fought, more and more people showed up and helped create that big loss of yardage there. That's the kind of play that the defense gets excited about. I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 34. From the gun, here's Stafford. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete. Kenny Golladay, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball. And we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Devon Kennard in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. They'll look to throw. Pass incomplete. He was looking for James O'Shaughnessy as tight end. 3rd down here.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Green 80.
Now Bortles got to have this one. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So now it may look bleak, but this one not over. They do have all 3 timeouts.
Even at this point on the field, where it looks like, you're really backed up, hold them to a field goal. That's the mantra right now. You hold them to a field goal, you still got a chance to take care of business on the other end. But you're right, the 3 timeouts are going to be key. How well they use them to preserve clock as well as stopping them, that's the key to giving them a chance to win.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
4 down. Set. 180.
Stafford going to throw it. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. Stafford now to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down inbounds, tried to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really, by the way?
That he is.
How about that? What about young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not cross.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stopped right there.
They'll go to Blunt, try and pound it in. And he is unable to get in. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. He tried to break that plane, but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal.
When I was playing, all our defensive coaches talked about when you're near your own goal line and you're trying to stop them from getting in, your heart gets tested. What a nice play on the last down.
A lot of heart on 2nd, but they have the heart on 3rd. And he won't get to the marker as they're going to stop it for a 2nd straight play right at the line of scrimmage. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So what you want? Every day I struggle with it. Only God could tell me slipping.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the MVP of Super Bowl 47, Joe Flacco, and the Baltimore Ravens. They face off with Ryan Tannehill and the Miami Dolphins. With that, let's get down to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida. As a moment ago, the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with Joe Flacco and the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
The Dolphins send out the rookie from New Mexico, Jason Sanders, to get us started, and we are underway from Miami.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
When I see Cameron Wake make plays like that, I can't help but shake my head sometimes. He had to go to Canada first before he...
Out of Penn State, trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. First carry for Frank Gore back home here in Miami. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. And it sets them back for second down.
Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice, because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, that requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run, because you want to know how your guy's going to block it. They want to know how he's going to run it, what kind of cuts he's going to make, and it's really anticipatory. And when you're really locked in together, you know what he's going to do before he actually does it. On this play, that didn't happen at all, and that turned into a big loss.
Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th. So not much much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. 0-0 our score, and we'll be back to South Florida after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. On fourth down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep to return is Cyrus Jones. Baltimore set to get the ball back here. This is a Ravens team, Charles, that's now lost 3 in a row, really on a slide at 4-5. And the open week may be coming at a pretty good time for them.
Yeah, that 4-2 start definitely in the rearview mirror right now. A lot of guys dinged up, 10 guys currently on the injury report. But the big story to me has been their defense, because they usually get after the quarterback so well that they can cover the pass. But the underneath routes are...
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, Flacco. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On the ground with their leading rusher from a season ago, it's Alex Collins. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down. So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant, taking it about the 16. So a change of possession here on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. For the Miami Dolphins, Charles, if you just look at the first half of the season, you have to say it's a team that overachieved. Now, as we get toward the stretch run, is this a team that realistically makes a push for the playoffs?
It's hard to say that they will, because you mentioned them overachieving a little bit. They had some wins early you didn't expect them to get. But because of those wins, they had some losses early that you didn't expect them to take. So you're not sure what you're getting week in and week out. So if they do make a playoff push as a wild card out of the East, well, you're probably only getting one team out of the AFC South. So maybe the door is open a little bit. I know the West, you're talking about 2. And then, of course, in the AFC North, potentially 2. So they could make a push, but it almost feels like an 8-8 team the way that they've gone about their business so far.
If they do make it into the playoffs, probably a heck of an accomplishment for Miami this season.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Drake off the give from Tannehill. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. So after a scoreless first quarter, we at least finally get some points on the board.
But it can't be what either of us expected, can it?
No, the safety's not what you expect for the first points of the game, but one of the goose eggs is gone. So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. And an alley to run. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10. Flacco from the gun. He's got the hook up to John Brown on the right side. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you gotta expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at the 20. The third quarter starts with a run by Gore. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down.
Well, that wasn't just a loss. That was a loss of big yardage there. So the sense you're starting to get is that offensively, things are starting to pile up against them, and they've got to find a way to stop that. Conversely, how about the great call by the defensive coordinator? He realized that he's got him on the run a little bit. That call was made to get upfield penetration by his defensive front to try and get into the gaps, get upfield into the backfield, and make a big play. I think that was actually called, not so much just to get it done that way, but to say, hey, guess what? We're going to be aggressive, and we had an opportunity and seized it.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And certainly not the greatest of kicks there. This one will be down inside their own 40-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. He's got his man on the crossing route. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a first down run with Collins. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, that's Allen. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. How about this? Flacco setting to throw it. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They get it to him running left. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Flacco. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming from the left hash. A chip shot here. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will give us the very rare scoreline of 5-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.